AB Academy, what's going on? It's your boy Avery B. Today we got a reaction video, and it's an interesting video, and I feel like it is the cheat code of life. Let's get into it.
Imagine you are locked up by a crazy scientist in an empty room.
First time watching
and
it too.
In front of you, there is a phone and Apple's terms and conditions. Which one will you pick? Most people will go for the phone since it is the most stimulating thing we have available. Now imagine the crazy scientist just got crazier that he takes away the phone. Now what would you do? You may wander around in the room for a few minutes, but eventually you will start to read that terms and conditions. But why?
Because the phone
Ladies
gone.
and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. My name is Yan and I seek wisdom from East.
Okay, I'm about to predict why he put that analogy. I never watched this video. I'd seen the title and I clicked on it. I felt like it'd be a good video to show you guys. I think he put that analogy. So if you got a phone and a book, you're gonna pick the phone up first. Okay, cool. Now if you take away the phone, last thing you got is the book. Therefore, you will do the hard thing if you take the stimulation out. That's my guess theory.
To the West. Nowadays, we are less bored than our ancestors, but we are more afraid of being bored than our ancestors. In the previous example, you don't even want to read that terms and conditions. You are just doing it to escape the boredom. Boredom isn't just sitting in an empty room with nothing to do. It is the feeling that you look at your to-do list and nothing feels worth doing. In our daily lives, no matter if you are waiting in line for your coffee or commuting to work or sitting on a bench in a park, the escape is right in your pocket. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. Before you realize, you are deep down into the rabbit hole of arguing whether Batman can be Superman. As the legendary investor Naval once said.
I think it was Pascal, he said, all of man's problems arise because he cannot sit by himself in a room for 30 minutes alone.
Wow.
And it's very true. I always needed to be stimulated. And when the iPhone came along, boredom was dead. I would never be bored again. Even if I'm standing in line, I'm on my iPhone. And I thought it was great.
And that's the scary truth. Although we all hate the feeling of being bored, it actually can be very helpful and sometimes necessary to achieve greatness. When we are bored, our brain enters the default mode, which I call the wandering around mode, that leads to a burst of creativity. For example, Isaac Newton. As the story goes, Newton was once sitting underneath an apple tree, bored out of his mind, when suddenly an apple fell and hit his head. If Newton lives in today's world, he probably would toss the apple away and continue watching YouTube about quantum physics. Who knows? Another example that is closer to us is Steve Jobs. As many of you may know, Jobs is a big practitioner of meditation. In fact, in his house, there is a giant room with practically no furniture inside, where Steve Jobs practiced daily meditation in it. Rumors have said that some of his best ideas actually came from the period of him being bored in that room. So to achieve greatness, you shouldn't escape the boredom. You should escape into boredom. Boredom isn't just about sparking creativity. It also means that we shouldn't be busy all the time. There's a concept in Taoism called Wu Wei. It literally translates to non-action and not doing. It's like the nature has its own way to govern how things should work, and we should only follow that pace, not doing anything too excessive or going against it. For example, we can't go against our human nature. I think we all have the experience of sticking to good habits for a few days and snap back to the bad ones. So we shouldn't force ourselves to do the boring task. Instead, by eliminating the more stimulating things, we naturally choose to do the boring task. Lao Tzu, the founder of Taoism, practiced Wu Wei for his...
Wow, bro. Do y'all hear this? Do you, are you if you're not understanding, let me break it down, bro. The stuff like this right here, your cell phone, the stuff like the junk food, the highly stimulating shit, bro, you're not going to want to get into the work. You're not going to want to do the quote-unquote boring stuff because why would you? You know what I'm saying? Your dopamine through the roof. You ain't going to want to do that shit. Now, when you take it away, when you limit yourself from that, you're going to be excited as fuck to read that book. You're going to be excited as fuck to get that work done because you ain't got all that stimulation.
Entire life, he refused to serve the emperor nor work as a farmer. He wasn't even willing to write a book about Taoism. Yet, he achieved the level of greatness that most people would never be able to. In Dao De Jing, Lao Tzu wrote, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." Here's the interesting fact. Fun is relative. Imagine this is what's going on in your brain. Everything can be ranked according to the level of fun it is or how stimulating it is. So work is probably around here, like -5. Right? This is how boring work is. Maybe you have something like playing with your phone. Cool. And maybe reading, to me, it's like a +3 fun. Okay, this is reading. Now, here's the interesting thing. If I just have these 3 options on the table, I would immediately be drawn to playing with my phone because this is the most stimulating thing that is at the moment. However, if I pull my phone away, so I am literally telling my brain that I'm going to eliminate this option.
Wow.
Okay, so there's no longer this line.
Now reading the
what
top
happens?
one.
Reading becomes the most stimulating or the funnest thing to do.
So really, anything can be fun and anything can be boring. It just depends on what other options we have at that moment. If you overstimulate yourself for 10 hours, of course work will be boring. But if you just sit there and meditate for 10 hours, not that you can really do it, but if you did, you will be like, somebody please give me something to do. Any work, I don't care, just give me some work to do. Just like the example at the very beginning, you actually want to read Apple's terms and conditions because it's better than doing nothing. If you are able to make yourself so damn bored, you will realize that boredom is actually kind of fun.
And that's where the cheat code come in. It's crazy because I had this title before even watching the video because I already knew it was going to be a cheat code, bro. Like, twin, if you just bored as hell, you going to want to do any type of work imaginable. You're going to be grinding like a motherfucker.
Scientific study. A group of 22 monks were invited to have their brain scanned while they do meditation. As soon as they began to meditate, there was a huge burst of electrical activity, about 700 to 800 on the monitors. This brain activity lasts throughout the entire meditation session and carry on for the rest of the day. This means that if you just sit there and do nothing, you can experience the same level of joy as having sex. Obviously, it takes years to practice. However, a simple 10 minutes a day can already make a huge difference to you. I myself have practiced meditation for a couple of years already. I used to scroll on my phone all day long and wasn't able to focus on the boring tasks that I knew would lead to my success. But then I practiced meditation started with 2 minutes a day. Already tough, but gradually I was able to add the minutes to 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and now I'm able to sit in the room with no distraction at all for 30 minutes. So thanks to meditation being so boring that it actually makes other works so much fun. Therefore, you just have to structure your day in the correct order. First, list out everything you need to do for the day. For me, it's like work, exercise, reading, and let's say meditation. Obviously, your list will be different from mine. Also, it can change from day to day. Now, let's rank them according to the level of boredom. This can be very personal. To me, reading is actually fun, so I will put it on the top. And the exercise to me is kind of boring, so let's go down the list.
He the opposite of me, gang. I would have flipped that motherfucker.
Obviously, meditation is the most boring one, and that leave work to be somewhere around here.
Cool. Now, let's pick out the most important thing from this list.
To me, work is the most important thing. So to make work fun, I need to do something more boring than work beforehand. For example, exercise.
And that's why I start my day with some jogging and tai chi.
In this way, I'm able to set the level of boredom to a very low level that work afterwards become actually fun to me.
And then throughout the day, since work is relatively boring, then reading becomes relatively fun. And if you plan out your day according to the level of boredom, all tasks should feel fun to you. Because you know what? Fun is relative.
I'm about to do that, bro.
There is a catch.
That seems cool.
Say I just happen to scroll social media during the day. What I'm gonna do now? Well, you can do what I call a mini reset, like a 5 minutes meditation. This will help you to reset your baseline stimulation to the very minimum. So next time when you feel the familiar itch to pull up your phone and vanish into the vortex of viral video,
Maybe take a second to let yourself be bored. Instead of swiping through your feed, just sit back and relax. Maybe an apple will fall onto your head too. Who knows? As Albert Einstein said, the monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. If you are able to watch until the end of this boring
That's
video,
crazy, bro.
congratulations. You've just created a little space in your brain and you are just one step closer to achieve greatness. If you enjoyed this video,
Cheat code to life, bro. It's crazy. I literally named it that before even watching the video, man. Appreciate everybody for watching, man. Let's go do some boring shit.